As y'all know, the transfer portal giveth and the transfer portal taketh away. And we're now in the moment of it taking away, as a few more Sooners have hit the transfer portal over the last couple of days. I didn't get to drop a video yesterday to really talk about it. We talked about it on Locked On Sooners, but I want to dive a little bit deeper into some of the players that hit the portal and kind of what that means going forward for the Sooners, because if there's anything I would like to make sure I profess to everybody, that be patient. Wait. Mainly because it ain't over for a while. So let's dive into that. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank you for pulling up to the channel. This video is powered by our partners at BetUS. Check them out. They're hooking up the gamer. 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. So, as you all know, we've had some more portal entries. So I'm going to walk through a few of those that just recently went down. And we're going to talk about some of the players that are actually supposed to be pulling up on visits. It sounds like we've got a nice little list of players. I've got my own little wish list too. I've been putting together with some of the guys in the Discord. You can definitely check that out. Link in the description below. But we've got a few players we're looking at, but I'm going to tell you, there's probably about 3 guys that today I'm excited about and believe we should really go all in on. So first and foremost, let's look at some of the players that have hit the transfer portal. So, we've got to put the graphic up here. Here's our current list of portal entries. Now, these are the ones that are actually in the portal. The one that is not showing up on this list yet is Joshua Bates, the center. He has not, looks like his paperwork has not gone through yet. But y'all know Bates. He was, well sought after from Colorado, 4-star prospect. Honestly, I could see him going back home. But he hasn't officially put in his paperwork to hit the portal. But there was Hayes dropped a graphic that he's going to go into the portal. You add him with Kenai Walker, Eric McCarty, as well as Makari Vickers. Those are probably the 3 that jumped out the most to me of, man, kind of saddened your boy that Makari Vickers did not work out. Y'all know I was huge on Seatbelt. And it appears his paperwork is filed and it's got him in there. So, and then you're seeing a lot of your walk-ons, your local players that walked on to the program. They are also hitting the portal as we're hitting those numbers of 105. And so I know a lot of people are concerned about, what we're going to do. We're losing a lot of depth. We're not even near 105 players yet. So this is not going to be the end of it. The good thing for us is we haven't lost anyone of major substance from this last season. Now, granted, Bauer Sharp was our top wide receiver last year. A lot of you are glad that he's gone. I think he's going to do well somewhere. Nick Anderson sucks, but he only gave us 1 productive year. He's been hurt since his freshman as well as last season. So we're hoping that he can get healthy and be able to show out. He'll probably show out somewhere in the SEC if he gets good and healthy to go. But I was really high on Makari Vickers. I liked Kenai. I thought Kenai did some good stuff for us, but at the same time, we're going to need to get some really big-time lockdown corners. We've got some good young ones coming in, but I do think we're going to be active in the portal. And so I want to talk about, and then, of course, Gary Hatchett, he was a starter for us. Then he tore his bicep, and it looks like he's going back home. So he's already committed to go back to Washington. So him and Landon will be playing together. We thought that Landon Hatchett was going to join him. He was injured as well. He ended up playing last season at Washington, and it appears the Hatchett brothers decided they wanted to go ahead and wrap up their careers together. So that's really the list of players that have left so far and that are in the portal. Hop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Well, let's dive into some players that are going to visit. But first, shout out to our partners over at BetUS. They're hooking up the gamer. 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. You also get 125% bonus on your second and third deposits by using promo code YouTube150. And so we know that some of the opening lines have dropped. Oklahoma right now is sitting as an 8.5-point favorites in the bowl game. We didn't even really talk about it here. We talked about it on the live stream, but Oklahoma's playing the Armed Forces Bowl down in Fort Worth against Navy, and we're favored pretty highly. So let's see what Michael Hawkins to do. That total at 43.5. Interesting. I think that they believe it's going to be a low-scoring game, but Oklahoma pulls it away, and the game is probably going to go fast because Navy is an all-run team. If you want to get into the action, check out BetUS. They're hooking you up. 150% bonus on your first deposit to $2,000. 125% bonus on your second and third deposits by using promo code YouTube150. BetUS, where the game begins. Now, there are some players that I have on my wish list that I would love to see Oklahoma pick up. And I'm going to give you your offensive guys today. We'll talk about some defensive guys probably later on in another video. So I really want to dive into a lot of their film. But on the offensive side of the ball, man, I'm seeing there's some offensive linemen that come in. And I want to go ahead and preface this. We talked about this on Locked On Sooners, but I want to make sure that you guys understand my mindset here. When it comes to players that enter the portal and they come from your G5s or your, JUCO, I look at G5 players that are productive the same as I look at JUCO players. Kendall Dobie was a great example of a JUCO player that came in and was immediately productive. And some people weren't very happy about, some of the G5 players that we're offering and some of the players that we're looking at. I'm telling you now, those guys are very productive. And the coaching mindset is, if you're productive at that level, there's a better chance for you to elevate your game to the next level, more so than a guy that was unproductive in P4 trying to move to another team. If the guy's young, I get it. But if it's a guy that's unproductive in P4, there's a good chance he won't be productive going forward. Now, if they put up production and maybe had like a year where they was injured, there's a chance that they can get back to it because we've seen injured players come back even stronger and look better. And so, like, for example, here, one player that has done a visit, Donovan McCulley, he was good at Indiana. He was initially a quarterback. He transitioned to wide receiver, 6'5", over 200 pounds. And he led the team in receptions at 48 catches, 644 yards, and 6 touchdowns. But last season, he only had 2 catches for 21 yards. And he ended up leaving the program. Now, a lot of people are wondering, Jay, if he put up those production the year before, why didn't he put up the production next year? Well, you got to remember, McCulley's situation was different because the entire regime changed. That's when Curt Cignati came in, as well as Shanahan, the offensive coordinator, and Sansari is one of the, wide receiver coach. They brought in Tito or whatnot. Sorry if I got his name wrong. Having a brain moment. But he brought in his entire staff from James Madison. He brought in all those players with him, and they all worked perfectly in the system. And unfortunately for McCulley, he just did not work out. It happens that, when players come over with the new regime, they don't fit the system. And that's kind of what happened with McCulley. But also with that, Reggie Virgil is another one that I know you probably heard about. He's one that I'm keeping an eye on 100% because when he got his offer, he put up this picture. And when he put this up, I was like, oh, okay. That tells me that he is legitimately interested in Oklahoma, but at the same time, he may actually lead us to keeping one player that we really want to keep. Now, he 6'4", another 6'4" wide receiver. You add him with Jaden Gibson at 6'5", McCulley at 6'5". You're just going to have a whole bunch of huge wide receivers, which, yeah, I'm 100% in on really big wide receivers coming to Oklahoma. And we keeping that. And it seems like that's what we're doing. We're going after a lot of big dudes. Sign me up. I'll take 2 of them. He's been getting all kinds of offers from everywhere. Like Reggie Virgil. I mean, he came from Miami, Ohio. Yes. He played ball in Florida in high school, close to where Jaden Gibson played. But everybody's offering him. He's getting them from Florida, UCF, Miami, Florida State, Michigan State, Florida, Pitt, Texas Tech, you name it, they're getting offered. But my favorite one is still the fact that he put up the picture of Jaden Gibson when he got that offer, and we were one of his first ones. So, to me, keep your eyes open on him. The other one, Trey Spivey, the wide receiver out of Kansas State, another giant. 6'4", 217 from Kansas State. He had a solid season as a player, 14 catches, 160 yards, and a touchdown. I think that's solid for a true freshman. Oh, sorry, for a redshirt freshman. I think that's solid, especially at his size. I mean, think about Jaden Gibson. That's kind of what he got, but he had more touchdowns, and then he started to transition up. So those three players, keep your eyes out for. There's a few more wide receivers. I got a long list, but I don't want this video to go too long. So let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. We'll dive deeper into the portal here over the next couple of days as players continue to enter. And we'll talk about some of the potential prospects that we're going to go after. So keep your eyes open. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you don't miss any videos. And I'll have another video out later on today. We'll talk soon. Peace.